Hi, I'm Dan Cleveland. I am the owner of Time to Escape. We're an escape room company in Atlanta in the Brookhaven neighborhood. And we have 3 escape rooms currently in May 2017. We have King Tut's Tomb, Al Capone Speakeasy, and Escape from Alcatraz.
How do you come up with these ideas?
Well, I really loved ancient civilizations, and so that's why I came up with King Tut's Tomb first, really. And Egyptian mythology and history, it's just amazing. And there's so many interesting things, from hieroglyphs to the gods to some of the pharaohs. So King Tut's Tomb and Escape from Alcatraz, prison-themed escape room really makes sense. And at the time, there was no other prison themes in Atlanta that I was aware of. And so Alcatraz, everybody knows what Alcatraz is. It's a prison in the San Francisco area. So really kicked off that one off. And then our third escape room is Al Capone Speakeasy, and that's set in 1929. And people really romanticize about the 20s. We have parties around the area that are 20s themed, and speakeasies and movies set in that era, etc. And of course, Al Capone, he's a notorious gangster, but in some ways he's viewed as a bit of a heroic figure in some ways, and that people romanticize about him, even though he was not a great person. But there's so much history there, so much great source material, so that's why we went with that. A number of things I like about escape rooms. One is that multi-generations can participate. So my mother is 70 years old, my son is 7 years old, and they were all, and myself, I'm in the middle someplace, and we're all able to go to an escape room and participate and have a good time together. Don't really have that opportunity for many entertainment options. People can't decide on the movie they want to watch. Not everybody wants to go bowling. Not everybody wants to play video games. So this is one of the few things where people can go, if they like to use their mind to overcome things rather than physical nature, then escape rooms are right up their alley. So I love that part of things, and I always love video games, board games, role-playing games, and there's a little bit of that in our escape rooms, at least.
So when did you realize that you wanted to turn this into a business?
I experienced my first escape room on my own about 2 years ago in 2015, May of 2015. And it really blew my mind as to how much fun it was. It was 1 hour, an exhilarating experience, really, one of the funnest hours that I can remember. And coming out of that, I just said, wow, I think this is going to catch on in the US, and started toying around with the idea of possibly opening up my own escape room. And ultimately, a few months later, I said I'm all in, and the rest is history. We've been open about 6 months, and we opened in October of 2016, and 6 months from there is May of 17 currently when we're filming this.
So what do you think sets you apart from your competitors?
I mentioned earlier the immersive quality of our rooms. When you walk in, you really feel like you're in a different time and place. We're sitting in Alcatraz right now. And we also have music and sound effects and voiceovers in our rooms to really get people immersed in that time and space. So, for example, Al Capone Speakeasy, we have a radio that plays 1920s music, and you can tune it to different channel stations as well. So we also have a live actor in the room, in our Al Capone Speakeasy room, and as far as I'm aware, that's unique to escape rooms anywhere where they have a complex character like a bartender inside the room. And I think that's taken it to a whole new level as far as immersion, theatrical component, and fun, really.
What do you think has been your biggest difficulty and challenges when starting this business?
Opening a business, there's always challenges. There's very few experiences where the owner opens a business and it's like putting your feet up on the desk and just counting your money. That's certainly not the way it's worked here. It took from August of 15 to October of 16 for me to open my doors to the public, and every step was much more complicated, lengthy, and costly than I would have ever expected. Luckily, I built in some flexibility there so that nothing disastrous happened along the way. But everything was a much higher level of a challenge than I expected. So as a business owner, you're learning new things every day. And so I would say the primary difficulty was really just getting our business open in the first place. We did have some significant roadblocks along the way that weren't anticipated, and then once we really opened, the challenge really turned into having customers walk in that door and experience what we have to offer. And we've made significant strides in that thanks to my excellent staff and somewhat because of me, but we have a ways to go yet on that. My favorite part of owning an escape room is dealing with people. I really love dealing with people from on our website on live chat to when they call in and ask questions, or we talk about team building events for our corporate clients, to when they walk in that front door. I just really, and I love meeting new people and engaging with them and giving them that great experience right from the start. And from my previous career as an accountant, really wasn't afforded that opportunity to deal with people. I would sit in my office and stare at an Excel spreadsheet, which is generally speaking pretty non-interactive. You can speak to it all day long, but it doesn't really speak back. And so that's really the big difference. I love being in front of people and talking about our escape rooms and bringing them on a fun adventure.
What advice can you give to entrepreneurs that are interested in starting their own business?
I would recommend to entrepreneurs that want to start their own business that they have to have a passion for whatever they're going into. I would not be passionate about, let's say, selling women's shoes. That's not a passion of mine. Or any other of many different kinds of business. But this was a business that I was passionate about. So I would recommend that, number one. And then number two, starting a business is going to take significant devotion on your time and energies and stress, and it's not right for everybody if it's a significant business. You really have to be ready in your life for that, trained, possibly formally, informally, just through your experiences, to your skills. Do you have skills in terms of being able to deal with people, managing people, finances, etc.? And also time investment. That's probably the number one. If you have the time you can invest in a business and you have dedication, then the rest can kind of follow suit. But if you have a lot of other things going on in your life, whether it's family or other pursuits, hobbies, or anything else, work on that and make sure you're in the right position to devote a lot of your time to that pursuit. I would further state that anybody who wants to start an escape room business, please don't open it in the Atlanta area. But other than that, knock yourself out. I'd love to have you come out to Time to Escape, and our website is www.timetoescape.com. Thank you.